Welcome to Dan and Meg Outdoors. Thank you very much for subscribing to our channel. Not doing a wild camp today, but something a little bit different. Again, I'm always doing different things. I'm taking a first look at the LANSHAN 2 Pro, which I have here. Been waiting for this to come for 3 weeks now. It came from AliExpress, so I'm gonna put it up, take a look at it. I'll take you for a walk round it. It hasn't been seam sealed yet, and basically see what it looks like. I've never put a trekking pole tent up before, so this could be interesting. Anyway, so stay tuned. I'll make a start with it. Right, one thing I've noticed with the LANSHAN is when you first get them, I mean, I've got it laid out now, or to a degree anyway. One thing I've noticed is you get these, which are obviously your ties for the corners. What you need to do with these, you need to extend them. You need to completely extend them fully, and by doing that, so you've got a little toggle here. What you need to do, you need to lift that up and pull it out, and it's the same all the way around. And I'll show you the reason behind that in just a moment. One thing I've noticed with the LANSHAN is when you're pitching the LANSHAN properly, or I think is properly, you don't need to pull it out tight when you're initially pitching it, because obviously with the tension lines you tension it up anyway once you put the poles in. So which is what I'm going to go ahead and do now for you. One thing you need to note when you're putting the poles in these LANSHANs, you know, if you can see this, first of all you need to unzip the tent. Really warm day today here in Birmingham. Right, another thing to learn with the LANSHAN. Always make sure the handle of your trekking pole goes into the reinforced area at the top here, not in between, inside the air vent, which you can see here. Let me show you. Don't put your trekking poles in there. Always make sure you unzip it and put it on the inside there. Always put your trekking poles in there. Now apparently you're supposed to have your trekking poles at 120. So what I've done, I've got this set up as at 120 now, and we'll see how easy it goes in. But one thing you need to notice as well when you're pitching the LANSHAN, on the bottom you'll find a little hoop. See that little hoop there? That hoop is where the foot of your trekking pole goes into, so you need to make sure that's in there properly. Well, one thing you'll notice with the LANSHANs is these are the pegs that you get with them, and to be fair, they're very lightweight. Not quite sure whether they're titanium or aluminium. They feel aluminium, but there's literally no weight to them at all. So they come in red, and I'll continue to pitch the tent up. As you can see now, I've got the first trekking pole in. If you have a look up here, got the pole in the top there, and I've also got the hoop around the bottom there. I haven't got the rubber ends on the bottom of these because I actually brought the wife's trekking poles out and not. Anyway, I'll crack on with the other side and I'll come back to you shortly. Right, one thing I need to note, which is something I'd completely forgotten about with the LANSHAN, but remember just in time. There's a knot in the ropes on one of the guys for on the front and the back. Do not undo that knot. That knot is there specifically because you have to put a tent peg through it. Now I've just pitched the LANSHAN and I've forgotten to actually do these ones, as you can see. But once I've put this in and tightened it all up a bit, you'll be able to notice the difference. Now for the first pitch of the LANSHAN, and I've never done a tent like this before in my life, and I haven't properly guided it all out, but yeah, I'll give you a quick walk around my first pitch, so it's not going to be perfect. So as you can see, I've gone for the khaki colour so it blends in. Bit of a large gap round there, but obviously I can change all that because I haven't completely finished pitching it as yet, because I haven't put the inside onto the tent pegs as yet. I've literally just gone round and pinned all the inner tent to the outer pegs, because with this tent they all go onto the same peg. If you have a look now, if you have a look, that's the inner, and it goes onto the same tent peg as the outer. And I've gone all the way around the tent, so the gap's relatively low on that side, on that door. But one thing you need to note if you're pitching one of these for the first time, you get these little toggles on each door. Obviously the one with the door that you're not using, put both toggles on these little hook things here. See the little hook thing there? Put both toggles on. I've only got one on there at the moment, but I'll go back round. See, if you look at the gap at the front. Now, if anybody knows how I can obviously reduce that gap, then obviously put your comments in the back. Don't forget, this is the first time I've pitched this, and I've never pitched a tent like this before, so. But to be fair, I don't think it's actually a bad pitch at first. Let's go inside and have a look. If you've got slippy hands or if it's sweating, the material is so, it's the silicone on the material, it literally just slips out your hands. Right, as you can see, obviously I'm sweating off the pounds by the second. It's obviously the 4 season, obviously the 3 season, all this is mesh, where we've got more material on this one. So let me open the zip and go inside, and let's take a look round. Right, what I've just done then when I opened this up, I noticed that because I hadn't done these tensioners properly, being it the first time, the other pole was leaning in, so I've just been inside and I've just changed it. So let's go and have a look inside now. It's going to be very warm in here. The air vents all the way around on both ends at the bottom. Nothing on the side, obviously, but probably that's down to being 4 seasons, so you've got meshing all down here. From what I can see, there are no pockets inside this tent at all whatsoever. There's a little lantern hook up in the corner there. And obviously it needs pinning out because I can pin these edges out, and I haven't actually done that yet because this is just like a first pitch. Here's a have a look. Just noticed the door on the inner tent actually uses the same toggle as the outer. Bear that in mind for the future. Right, I'm going to get inside so I can go through the sandwich room. Now I'm only 5'8", so I'm not the biggest, but I do believe these are 220 centimetres long by 120 metres wide. So this is supposed to be a proper 2-man tent, but to be fair, it looks about the same as my Cloud Peak too. But I'm going to get in and have a look, and I'll take you in there with me. Come with me. As you can see, I've probably got a good 18 inches. I've got to have a good 18 inches at the top. And my feet, I've probably got 6 inches at the bottom as well. It's about as wide. It's about as wide as my Cloud Peak. But one thing I have noticed, the ground sheet on this. Now I didn't order the the separate ground sheet, but when I actually ordered the tent, but I've ordered it since, which I'm pretty glad, because to be fair, this feels quite thin. So yeah, I mean, for space, Yeah, you would get 2 sleeping mats in here. Oh, I've just noticed little pocket on the end there. Nice little pocket on the end to put your bits and pieces in. You're not going to get much in that pocket, and it's bloody warm in here. So yeah, so I think you can safely, it is a double skins tent. It's not your single skins. Now, going on the stats, the LANSHAN 2 Pro, difference with the materials to the LANSHAN 2 standard is the normal one's only got a 15D silicone nylon, whereas the Pro has the 20. Has a 20D nylon. But the material on it, to be fair, it does actually feel really, really nice. But if you've got wet hands and you're doing things like the toggles and stuff, it just literally slides out, it slips out your hands really easy. Now, this hasn't been seam sealed yet. What a lot of people may not know is with the LANSHAN 2 Pros, I'm not sure whether it applies to the LANSHAN 1 Pro as well, is you have to seam seal it yourself, which I've got the sealant stuff coming in the post. And what you have to do, you need to go through all the seals and just literally seal it all the way down. Now, after looking at a few videos on YouTube, I've come to realise that the easiest way of doing this is by using a syringe rather than just putting all the silicone sealant all the way down. Now, what you have to do with the silicone sealant, you need to mix it with white spirits to thin it down a bit, so you get the thickness of what like olive oil. Now, from what I've seen, and which is something I'm going to be putting into practice when my silicone sealant turns up, you use a syringe with like basically in a nutshell, it's a dental syringe. It's got a bit of a curve on the nozzle. With the curve, it just makes it a little bit easier. Apparently, it's supposed to make it a lot easier to get into those seals there. So you need to seam the seals down, 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 and obviously you need to do all round here as well, all round there, all round here as well. They haven't been seam sealed in the factory. But what I'm going to do, same with this one here as well, this will be seam sealed all the way around those little lips there, all the way down in all the grooves. So my overall impression of this tent, oh God, yeah, I think my overall impression of this tent is I've wanted one of these for ages, and I had to go for the khaki because it's a little bit more stealthy with the backdrop that we have with the, you know, with the earth in the UK. I wanted something lightweight because I'm planning on doing a couple of long hikes like the West Highland Trail and stuff, and I wanted something a little bit lighter weight, so I'm starting to go down the lighter weight route now. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put all the statistics and everything and all the hydrostatic head and everything at the end of this video. It'll also be put in the description as well. If anybody have got any comments or anything, obviously feel free to drop them in the comments box below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give us a subscribe if this is your bag. If you like wild camping, hiking, trekking, adventures, that kind of thing, you're on the right channel. So, you know, hit the bell button to keep you notified when we've got new content coming up. There'll be another video next week. Bear in mind, this was only a little bit of a tent setup. You know, I've had it for a few days now and I've been itching to get it up. So so yes, welcome to the LANSHAN 2 Pro. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye from Dan and Meg Outdoors.